Hi, Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to the Magellan Network Show. For nearly 30 years, I've been focused on helping advisors become the best both personally and professionally. This show is dedicated to sharing with you tools, tips, strategies, distinctions, things that are working now. I'd love for you to take a moment, and if you're watching this on YouTube, click the like button and also the subscribe button so you get automatic updates. And if you happen to be listening to us on a podcast, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast and you leave a positive review for us. Now, with that said, let's get to today's episode. Hi, it's your Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, today what I want to talk to you about is something that I think for a lot of you is going to be very reassuring, which basically is this. Every one of us, has everything that we need to really be super successful, to really elevate our game if we just go and find it. And really just more about a story that happened very recently to me, and I'm going to go over it now with you guys. So typically when somebody's looking for coaching, I normally get referred to them. It's the way it normally works. And so in my game, you go to my website, you fill out an intro call, a Zoom form, click on schedule up, and then you magically appear in my schedule, and then we have a conversation. And every advisor, I've had this in place for decades. Any advisor can have 30 minutes of my time, no questions asked, just to talk about whatever, right? So I get a couple of these every week, and a lot of them don't go anywhere. Fit's not there, the commitment's not there. They're just a disconnect, if you will, or just curious. But this one person, one advisor, so we end up on Zoom, and I got some notes from this person, and I'm going, okay, and we get on, and normally for me, when I'm doing an intro Zoom, it's all about rapport, commonality, likability. Bottom line is, if I don't like you or we can't get along, nothing happens, right? So for the first 5 or 10 minutes, I'm like, I'm not feeling it, right? Person been in business for a couple decades, doing okay. So it's not like, we're not critical here, but definitely has not hit their, potential. Not by a long shot. And we're talking, and I'm just not feeling it. I'm like, I don't know. Do I really want to take this person to the next step? And in my world, the next step is, I do an intro Zoom. If that goes well, we go to this, what we call application and evaluation, where, we spend a couple hours, a much deeper dive, really kind of getting a game plan together. And then we decide whether or not we want to work together, right? So it's about a 3 to 4 week process, basically. So I'm going to myself going, I don't know if I should invite, I don't know if I'm feeling like inviting this person to the next step. I don't know if we're resonating. I don't really know if they're ready, right? Because it's all about being ready for change. So we're talking, and then somehow we get on the conversation about, in addition to being an advisor, what else this person does. And I said, well, have you ever played any sports, in your past or anything? Like, I'm always looking for, something. And they go, I'm an open ocean water swimmer. And I'm like, well, what is that? And he goes, well, I do races in the ocean and in the rivers, and I'm planning to get to swim the English Channel in a couple of years. And I'm like going, huh. And I'm thinking I got a guy who does that, right? I've got a client who does that. And small, again, you never know where the world takes you, right? This person and my client have to share the same swim coach. How's that for a small world, right? So automatically, as he's talking me through this, I start thinking, going, okay, I like this guy. And here's why I like him. He has everything he needs to be highly successful in this industry. Like, he can totally, radically transform his business. Why? He has all the ingredients present. He just doesn't have the recipe. And that's really what I want to impact upon you in this episode, that each one of you has everything that you need to grow your business by 25%, 50%, 100%, 200%, go from a solopreneur, build an empire if you like. You all have those ingredients. They're present right now as you watch or listen to me. What you don't have is the recipe. You don't have the roadmap, the blueprint. But all materials are there, right? It's like building a house. Everything is there, but we need a game plan, a map. So he's telling me about how he trains and the discipline, and I'm going, look, man, if you can jump in 50-degree water and spend a couple hours, I know you can rock this business out. I know you have everything you need. And I got really excited for him. Like I got super, I went from curious to enthusiastic in probably a 5-minute span, right? And I'm talking to him, and I go, what you just haven't figured out is how to take your success recipe as a swimmer and bring it into the business. You've looked at it as like it's two separate things, and I'm here to tell you it's the same thing. And this is all I want you all to hear me on this. It's really important. There's not this business side of you and this personal side of you. Like there's not the man or woman in the business. The man or woman is the business. You are the business. Your whole being is the business. And so if you have strengths, if you have areas in your life that you've excelled upon, whether it's being a great parent or a great friend or athletically or whatever it is, you have all the inside of all those different elements or pieces of you lie everything that you need to do this at a much higher level. And when I start talking about it, I said, look, and we're talking about and I know some of this would be the audience would not see this, obviously, but like I told him, hey, we need to create what I need to help you with. We go down this road together. We need to come up with a quarterly game plan. And then he reaches over, he goes, here's my training game plan for the next 30 days, right? Everything laid out. His training's all mapped out, right? From swim to weights to cardio, it's all laid out. I said, so how curious? How disciplined are you on it? He goes, I never miss. He goes, once I get a map, I just execute. I said, I said, so if we create a map for you where you knew every 90 days, every 30 days, every 7 days, every singular day, every morning, and then every day, what had to be done, you would execute. He goes, yeah, I'm wired like that's just the way I'm wired. Said, interesting, right? He got so excited. We both got so excited. So we wrapped up our call. I said, look, man, it's going to be your decision, but I'm inviting you to come do an application evaluation with me. And we'll get together, we'll map stuff out, and then you can decide whether or not you want to retain me as your coach, right? So literally hours later, I get the form, all set up, and we're going to rock and roll, right? So the second story here is, if I just let it go the way it was going, that intro call, chances are we would have gotten a different outcome. But what I kept doing, I kept searching. Well, what else do you do? Well, tell me about this, right? I'm looking for an avenue that creates a conversation that can inspire change. And that's what I'm really doing here. And I'm just so excited for this person. I know that if they buy into what I'm going to work with them on, it's going to transform their business. It'll transform pretty much almost every aspect of what they're going to do, right? Because guess what? Everything they need is present. And so I want you to think about this. When you think about what you want to accomplish in life, in business, is it really like you're missing something? People say, well, I'm not disciplined. Yes, you are. You're disciplined. You're probably disciplined in other aspects of your life. You're just not disciplined here, right? Well, I'm not motivated. Well, you're motivated in other aspects of your life. You're not motivated here. It's like you don't have motivation. It's like you don't have discipline. I mean, quite frankly, think about this. Getting up in the morning and taking a shower requires an element of discipline. Imagine the consequences if you don't, right? So it's not like we human beings lack anything. We have elements of all the behaviors inside of us. and we've executed them, we've displayed them, we've acted on them at some point in our lives. There have been days that you have had a great day. You got inspired or scared or both, and you know what? You made your calls, you asked for referrals, you played the game, you followed up on prospects, you marketed, you did whatever you need to. Now, that may have been years ago, but you did it. So you can't tell me it's not present, that you don't have those ingredients. You do. But you start telling yourself a story, or you can't find the keys or the map or the blueprint, right, or the recipe, and all we do is get frustrated. Because quite frankly, for most people, they have a massive blind spot and they can't see the recipe that's in front of them because it just doesn't work that way. And I'll ask you this question. How many times does a friend, a client, family member come up to you for advice and they lay out a situation for you? And the answer is it's like right there, yet the other person can't see it. But you can see it clearly. You know why? Your perspective is different. And that's exactly what happened inside this conversation with this person. My position, I saw it clearly. Like, dude, we have everything we need. We just got to put it all together. And then test it and rep it out. And then you're going to rock star this thing. I don't care you've been in the business 20 years. Doesn't matter. The next 30 are going to be tremendous, right? And I told him that. Like, I'm confident that I know exactly what we're going to do. Because I've done it for hundreds. So I want you to think about that. When you think about your next act, right? Your next, whatever you want to call it, the next level of your business. And that means different things to everybody, and that's okay. I want you to realize that everything you need is present right now. You just have to go ahead and either A, change your point of view to see it, which may or may not work, by the way, or B, find somebody else who can see it from a different perspective, a different vantage point, and let them help you create your recipe, your roadmap, and your blueprint. All right? So, would you have a great day today? Thank you for listening and watching this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, if any of this resonated with you, I invite you to come to MagellanNetwork.net, and we have a powerful group coaching community of like-minded advisors. Come in for a trial. You and I will have a one-on-one conversation. Let's see if I can help elevate your game, both personally and professionally.